Hello, Al Pals. This is Big Al, and welcome to the official first Saturday Night Rewatch that is officially now on my channel. Does that sound right? Did I say that right? Do you think, Troy?
I think as long as it gets across what you mean to say, I think that's fine.
Yes. How many we got? We only have 3 people waiting, so there's not that many people here.
So that tells you
say hello,
that shows you who the true fans are. I guess we got.
Well, let me refresh. That might make a difference. And plus, I just went live. So it'll take a few people to kind of get in here. I do want to know though, how do we sound? How is the audio?
Yeah. Don't forget you want to mute the
screen. I know. It just scared me. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, everything's kind of being slow tonight, and I am not sure. That's why I want to check to make sure you're hearing us somewhat clearly with no interruptions. Janice Zeal says we're clear. Dark Stranger says we're sounding fine.
Steven Cruz says sounds good, guys. So we're fine. We know we're okay if Steven Cruz.
Steven Cruz. Yeah, it's just disconcerting because the little halos around our heads.
I'm sorry.
It does sound funny. I know. It does sound
funny.
No.
I was laughing at Agent Boomer's comment. Death Wish 3 rewatch. Make it happen. And is that the one with Marina Sirtis? I have no idea. And I was going to ask Agent Boomer, why specifically Death Wish 3? Why are we skipping over the first 2? I mean, I'm all for it. I'm not against it.
Bronson it doesn't get nearly the amount of credit that he deserves. And there are a lot, and beyond the Death Wish films, which they're cool. They're cool films. I also love Death Hunt. If anybody's ever seen that. And White Buffalo, which are a couple of White Buffalo is a Western where he plays Wild Bill Hickok. And Death Hunt, he plays like a trapper who everyone thinks killed someone and starts getting chased through the Alaskan wilderness. Really a cool, or Canadian. It's snowy. Yeah. But really, really cool film.
And I guess we should probably tell the crew that's here. So, I mean, I guess everyone kind of already knows why we're over here instead of.
Yeah. Just to let everyone know, yes, the Rewatch was always officially on Professor Geek's channel, but he has decided to take a sabbatical from scheduled streaming. He will be still doing the Hobbit book study Monday nights at 11. So if you want your fill of the Professor, that's when you'll get it on a regularly scheduled time. He has said he is going to, when he has a chance, when he has time, just kind of pop up and do a random unscheduled surprise stream. So he'll still be around. He just was getting a little bogged down with getting the graphic novel out, with getting another book straight, his fatherly duties, his church life. It was just becoming too much. And so he needed to kind of step back and prioritize. And totally agree. It took, it hit me because I didn't know it was happening until you guys did. In fact, I probably found out later because I didn't see his tweet for a while. And I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? But I'm stepping up to take the Saturday Night Rewatch, which means the possible films we'll be watching have greatly expanded.
That's why I mentioned that, and I wanted to bring the lead in, because it's like we've taken over the class.
Yep.
we get to set it now.
The teacher has been taken out of class, and now it's the students running the classroom.
So next week is Showgirls, right?
You know, I honestly would not be averse to Showgirls.
See,
but I need to get a downloadable version of it. I haven't been able to get it downloaded yet. So it's out there, but all the copies I find, I can't get them like into my hard drive.
It's just like a little notch above what I hear of The Room. You know, I mean, as far as film writing style.
Yeah, well, you know.
What, am I being too harsh?
I haven't seen The Room, so
yeah, I haven't either. It's just what I've heard of The Room.
Well, there's actually, and the thing is,
Stephen Cruz is getting all excited about it.
There's Stephen Cruz. I get an MP4 version of it. It will go into pre-production of a thing. We'll do it just for the heck of it and have a lot of fun seeing lots of bad things on many things. Age of Boomer is confirming, yes, it was Marina Sirtis in Death Wish 3. Where bad things happened to her.
But as I was telling Al offline, you know, if anyone's going to take over the rewatches, I think it should be Big Al. Big Al Presents, Big Al's Review-O-Rama. The movies are his thing. So
yeah, I do like the movie. I do like the movie feel. I would, if in a perfect life, I would own a drive-in movie theater and just play whatever the hell I wanted. You know, just have people come on in. You know, great. You know, bring the popcorn, bring some grills. You know, grill some food out there. Just have a great time watching 2 or 3 films a night. I think it would be an awesome time.
Well, I do have to say that when I first got the news that the professor was taking a leave, my thought was, you know, I just hope, you know, there's that girl in the choir. I hope that's happening now. You know, now that he has time to dedicate to, you know.
You know what? I'm not going to say anything because I don't know who knows what and who says what, but I get accused of letting things slip. So if that wasn't something he wanted to let people know, it wasn't me.
I don't know anything, and I don't want to know anything because I just want to believe that that's happening. Okay.
Well, you know, there's a lot of things I believe I wish were happening, but that's something else. But officially, though, I would like to introduce my co-host, Mr. Troy Pacelli, the Klingon Cleric.
Hello.
Remember to subscribe to his channel. The link is below. I actually did time and put links down there. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I was trying to be a lot more you know, into things today. But yeah,
I will have to be a bit better about putting out content so that we can, I mean, my whole intent is that we fill in the gap for the professor and keep everybody engaged and together, because you know what, I think we got a bit of a community here. We're all getting to kind of be friends. Exactly. I don't want it, you know, that to fall apart. I want you guys to all be able to still hang out with us. Al, we are going to continue to do the Tuesday nights, right?
Tuesday night, yeah, and in the short term, we'll see how it goes. You know, we'll kind of see how everyone responds, and style. You know, maybe a time change a little earlier to maybe get someone else on, because the fan man, if he hears this eventually or is listening, has said he wanted to kind of possibly pop in on Tuesday nights more now that it's the holidays and he's a little freer with not having to get up and sub in the morning. So any chance to get the fan man on is a good thing. So and anything to try to maybe accommodate him, maybe like I said, start at 10 EST as opposed to 11 EST. Yeah. But yeah, this week we will be on Tuesday night, 11 o'clock, as per normal office hours. It's not going to be called office hours. Might not be called anything for a few weeks until we figure out exactly how we want to do this. But hey, exactly what you said, Troy. We've got a great community, some great people out there who I am unfortunately ignoring on chat because I'm not looking at the chat.
Yeah.
So if you've said something and I didn't respond to it, sorry. And that is my way of responding. And Mara Jade. Hi, Mara Jade. You sexy thing, you.
I just say hello.
Well, I gotta, yeah, like I said, we got Melissa, Casey, Scott, Chris Damon, Janice Zeal, Agent Boomer, Mara Jade in the house. Of course, we got Troy, and we've got here, of course. I saw Dale Harris, Stephen Cruz, of course. If I've missed your name, I'm sorry, but welcome.
It's kind of like most of the people in the stream here probably are too young to know, but do you remember Romper Room? And the teacher would look through and I see so and so, and I see so and so, and I see so and so.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun to do. I remember watching that and just waiting for Alan. And one time she said it. I got all excited.
She never said Troy.
I got so excited. Troy. I got so excited when she said Alan. Yeah, I was a big I watched Romper Room a lot. My thing was New Zoo Review. If you remember
I love New Zoo Review, yeah.
I loved New Zoo Review. That was kind of like the live action thing. You all right there? Sounded like a.
Oh yeah, I just bumped my mic.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
real professional setup over here. We're all professionals here. How are you?
We're guerrilla. This is a guerrilla radio operation if ever there was one.
That's for sure.
Oh yeah, and just think about possible future movies. Let's just say I just got a hold of Beastmaster.
Oh,
so that's one to think about.
Beastmaster. Oh yes,
that movie. Yes. Can't always guarantee that everything we watch is going to be available out there. Hopefully, like I said, I'm not sure where Terminator. Do you know if Terminator's streaming anywhere?
I know it's not on Amazon. I mean,
just check that out. Don't know where it is. I know a lot of people. Some people watch, and I know a lot of people just like listening. But let's start getting in a Terminator mood here. When we first were talking about doing this on Thursday, my original thought was, you know what, Troy wants to do. Got the Klingon. Let's do a couple of Klingon episodes. Start light, but he suggested Terminator, and I'm like, you know what? You're right, because we just did Star Trek. Let's not become a Star Trek channel. We want to be everything.
And originally the reason that we did those two Trek episodes was based on my thought of it was the new Terminator movies opening weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do the whole technology gone amok. Since you wanted to do Trek, there was two good classic Trek episodes that covered that. And then when it came up that, we were going to be doing it again, I was like, well, let's actually just do Terminator.
Let's just do the one that started it all before things fell apart.
Yeah.
And actually, when you really think about it, things fell apart a while ago. this Dark Fate's kind of the nail on the coffin.
Yeah, a lot of people are
actually, I think it's more the dirt on the coffin because I think that thing got nailed shut a while ago. It's been lowered, and
I've heard a lot of commentaries, and while it's real easy to jump on the whole, social, thing and whatnot. Yes, that's all there, and yes, those are all issues. But I think a lot of pretty objective analysts have looked and said, it's been on a downward spiral, and this is just, the most recent one. I think we lost the audience, and they just said, you know what, no, unless. Yeah. And let's face it, this is what it really is. It's not about, women. It's not about, diversity. It's not about any of that. It's about, look, you gave us, these movies, and we stopped coming more and more because you're just not giving us what we want.
Right. It's respect for the original premise, the original characters, the original concepts, which have disappear. Well, they were all kind of in decline, but I will give all the other films that kind of went up to that credit for at least keeping it within the Terminator concept. It may not have been done well, like Genesis. They may have made some odd character choices, like turning John Connor evil.
Yeah,
but at least they had John Connor.
Right.
The problem with Dark Fate, and full disclosure, haven't seen it, but read everything about it, and have seen the important scene that I needed to see, where, spoiler alert, they got rid of John Connor.
Yep.
Just killed him. A few months after T2, a T800 shows up and just kills it. Cyberdyne System Model 101 Arnie, boom.
And I think that for
shoots him.
For most fans, that puts an end to the possibility of what we really wanted. After seeing 1 and 2, we didn't really care much about sequels per se. We wanted to see that future war that was depicted at the beginning of this movie, of the first.
Yeah, we wanted to see the human resistance against the hunter killers and Skynet and all that. We know there is a victory, but we don't know exactly what happens after that. There's a whole lot to explore, and they basically said, you know what, no, and they just decided to just dump it all.
I mean,
into a big giant pit.
I have watched a lot of videos that talked about how the franchise has changed hands and who was in control of it, and it's all been a big cluster, but what they were on the right track in their thinking with 3, but they didn't think it through enough. If you're going to do anything with time travel and stuff, you got to think through. If I'm going to change something, there's got to be a good reason why it's changed,
And not only that, if you do time travel wrong, geeks will eat you alive.
Yeah. And
there are people out there that still will go, I love Back to the Future, except for that one part.
Yeah.
There's one part of Back to the Future that throws it all into a skewed weirdness, but let's not worry. That's another thing. And we still got the next 2 Back to the Futures to watch. We see the first one. We haven't done any of the other ones. Yeah,
I'd be up for that too.
But anyway, okay. Terminator 1984, the original, the great one, the one that was inspired by a dream that James Cameron had. Did you read about this?
This was while he was in France, I believe.
He was. I forgot what he was filming or doing, but he had a dream that a robot was crawling through a fire with knives and coming after him. And that image kind of stuck with him.
I didn't hear that much.
And it kind of morphed, and he just morphed the idea into what it became. And but I like a good origin story like that of a good idea that just kind of pops into a guy's head.
Yeah, I hadn't heard the details of the dream. I had heard the details of the real world around the dream. He was in France. He had a fever, and I'm like, you know what? That's actually kind of pretty cool if you think about it. You know?
Oh yeah, when I was in nursing home and having a drug interaction issue, I was having because I couldn't stay awake, and so I had some weird dreams. Weird dream. To this day, I remember them vividly. Nothing really interesting, but just odd, and it was a weird time. But let's see where's a good place to start. I right now I've got an MP4 of it, so which is a rip. I've got it on the Metro Golden Mayer. The lion just started to roar. Do you feel that's a good place to start,
Yep,
Troy?
I agree. He's just getting ready to roar.
Just roar. I've got it at the 3-second mark. The lion just popped on scream.
I do too.
Stream. He's about to he's kind of he's a mid growl there. So we can do that. And of course, we'll have a lot of fun talking about all the weird, cool things along the way.
Yep.
And if there are any pauses, don't worry, because sometimes the film gets so good we just got to get into it.
Yeah.
The professor hates that. Hated it. Hates silence, but sometimes it happens. Okay, let's see. Anybody? The Terminator movie is free on YouTube. It is? Okay. Well, good luck. I don't know how but I hope,
I've seen some channels will share movies, and what they'll do is they'll make it a little bit smaller or a little bit wider or a little bit off somehow,
or they'll slow it down or speed it up.
And that really would mess with a rewatch, because now it would mess with us.
It would mess with the timing, or they'll flip it. I've seen them do the flip thing too, which is pretty cool.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, they'll just flip the screen, so when you see something written, it's always backwards, so it kind of messes with your head a little bit. So wow, we got 19 people in here all watching. Phoenix Lord Osserman came in when Lister's here. God, yeah, nice crew. Okay,
yeah, Mara, so I saw you in your conversation with Janice Zeal too. I didn't say anything.
The boy's jealous with all the attention we're given.
That's okay.
Nanette's giving Janice Zeal a belly rub.
Yeah.
That's the cat thing, I guess.
I'm giving me a belly rub later.
I hate to be like the professor, but I'm hearing myself a little bit in the background. Is that Nanette or you or?
Oh no! Nanette is saying things from time to time.
Oh no! I thought I was hearing me.
I don't think.
Okay,
so.
That's better. Okay, I'm not hearing it now. So
okay, maybe I had my mic too close to my ear.
Well, that happens to me.
Maybe too, I was pulling an Al.
Yeah, I mean it happens. My headphones might bleed a little bit, and sometimes actually, that's what I need.
Owen Lister made an excellent point. YouTube movies, some of the movies that they present are available for free. So Owen Lister, are you saying that one of the movies that YouTube has available for free is Terminator? That's pretty cool.
Awesome. Great. That's great. People can join us in here.
Okay, but all 17 of you, I hope you guys are all ready. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're already almost 23 minutes into.
Well, yeah, typical thing. Plus, I just have to acknowledge, thank you for the belly rub, Marjane.
So
he's a good belly rub.
We can, of course, continue chatting when the movie starts. That's what it's all about. So
belly rub. Okay, yeah, starting at the 3-second mark. Belly.
We need to get this movie started.
got the MGM lion is he's on screen and roaring. I'll count down from 3, and when I say go, hit it. 3, 2, 1, go.
There we go.
Metro Golden Mayer.
What's really sad is that lion's probably
the old, Yeah, I miss the Orion logo. I always like the Orion logo and the theme.
Yeah.
Always so cinematic to me.
Yeah, they went so bankrupt.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Hemdale. The one funny thing I didn't know about Hemdale until I was looking at stuff. The hem part of Hemdale is from British actor David Hemmings.
Really?
I never knew that. I never knew that was where that came. He was one of the and the other is Jim Daly. That's where Hemdale came from.
So now here we are in 2029. And well, first, can we just acknowledge how awesome this opening is? These special effects.
These effects hold up so well. Or at least these do. Yes. There's one that near the end that's a little iffy. Well, and in the middle that's a little iffy, but this stuff here just rocks.
I mean, absolutely. First, so much of this is miniature work, and it was done so well.
The machines rose from the ashes of the nuclear fire. I love a good intro like this when they do it.
Right, and they don't overdo it. I mean,
and I like that they really don't put a time on it. I mean, they give a time for Judgment Day, which of course comes in later. But it's like it'll be fought here tonight, so it kind of
okay. You're right. They didn't give the exact date, but they said the year 2029.
Yeah, well, no, 2029 is cool. But I'm saying when this film came out, I like the fact that they didn't just willy-nilly throw around that it was happening in 1984 or 5.
Yeah.
It just said that the battle for our world will be here tonight. Yeah. And I just think Best Mata is the girl I was telling you about, the one who plays the roommate, the hot roommate.
Okay. I'll see her when she comes on screen. Yeah. I just don't remember her. I love
this theme.
So many memories of Linda Hamilton though.
Brad Fidel.
Awesome his music. Right?
I remember when I finally got the soundtrack to this thing.
Yep.
On vinyl originally, and because it had
Winston is a hero of mine.
Yeah, and he was suggested for this, but the original guy didn't want to do it, and so they gave it over to he suggested Stan Winston.
I don't remember seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger in the starring credits there. Did I miss that?
I think he had to have been.
I would think, right?
One of my favorite openings though is that opening when you're seeing the letters floating in front and then as the music's playing.
And then look at this. I love this transition because your first thought is you're still seeing the future here, and then you realize, this is just a
okay. They did put it in 1984, but
they did
still. And I do like it. I do like a film that doesn't age itself, though. And unfortunately, sadly, I just realized this one did. But
where we live in this era where we keep talking about subverting expectations. And that transition there totally subverts expectations. Gets you thinking we're still in that future war. Nope. This is the present, and we're just focusing in on a different kind of machine.
And of course, remember when this film came out, there's no internet, there's no wild spirit. You didn't know what was happening till you went to go see it in the movie theater.
Exactly.
And even the novelization, I got a cool story about it. God damn, he was in good shape back in '84. But he
then again, so was I in 1984.
I wasn't, but I was in better shape than I am now. But when I saw this film, I love book adaptations, novelizations, and I was looking for this novelization. It's like, why, you know, this is one of the biggest movies in the universe. Why is it? They didn't put the book out until like a year after the movie came out.
Yeah.
I still remember when I found it. I was in the middle of a People's Drugstore, which is now CVS.
Yeah.
A young Brian Thompson and a young Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton, yeah. It's amazing.
And the third guy whose career did not nearly go to the heights of the other guys.
No, that's for sure. Now, see, this scene that they completely redid in Genesis or Gynesis, as I hear some pronounce it. I wish that they had just used this clip and then used stand-ins for the, you know, altered portion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, rip his heart out. Oh,
I'm guessing that's the scene that inspired the comic book guys on Injustice.
Here. And I always wondered, did that guy live? I would think he did. If he just gave him what he wanted, I think that guy is smart enough to have lived.
I don't think the Terminator would actually go in this particular circumstance would go out of his way to kill somebody he didn't need to.
Yeah. Although their primary program was to kill humans.
Yeah.
But they're also an infiltrator, so they wouldn't be doing stupid things.
And I wonder what kind of direction they're given regarding you know, the timeline, you know?
Right. Yeah. Well, they're given, I think they have like a, you know, they computerized history and everything they have access to. Casey Scott's bringing up a good point, which is yes, O.J. Simpson was considered to play the Terminator.
Yeah.
But they didn't give it to him because they didn't think he could pull off playing a killer.
That's funny. And actually, do you know Arnold Schwarzenegger read for the role of Kyle Reese? And
yeah, the original concept, the Terminator was going to be a shadowy figure.
Yeah.
And who you really didn't know who it was until.
And what actually, or at least the way he says it, was it James Cameron himself or somebody did a painting of Arnold Schwarzenegger's, you know, like his face in shadows and the other half being the, you know, basically like your icon right now.
Yeah, and he when he met, the original concept was to use Schwarzenegger, but they thought they would need even a bigger name to play the Terminator.
Yeah.
And nobody really fit. So Cameron just met with him, looked at him, and started. He's like, "Hold on, Arnold, let me see." And he sketched Arnold out as the Terminator.
And he said that when he saw that, he said, "I am the Terminator." You know, and he that's when he said, "I want to do that role."
Yeah, he had a little bit of tension at first, I think. Because I think it was his first villain. And playing a villain wasn't necessarily a good thing. Sometimes now it's like people love to play the villain. What? Michael Biehn. I always liked him.
I did
as
too.
An actor.
Yeah, me too.
He was very much a good-looking everyman. He looked like he was a good, honorable guy. Even though you can play someone like Johnny Ringo in Tombstone.
And I really love the whole man out of time kind of thing, although admittedly in reverse, you know. You even see it a little bit with the Terminator when he goes looking for weapons and he's like, "Well, I want this and this." No, dude,
and name something that's like not even done yet. I remember seeing this. I wanted the shoes that he gets, the Nikes.
Oh yeah.
He picks these like Nike shoes with the latch top, and for some reason I just thought that was such a cool design at the time. So strap it.
Gosh, yeah, I remember those.
But it's like those Nikes and the Terminator sunglasses, the gargoyles. that he gets later when he loses the flesh around the eye.
Yeah.
Great synth music from the 80s.
You know, I miss that music, really. You know,
I mean, yeah, I do too.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's a perfectly valid instrument, you know?
Oh, it's an accent because you literally could do almost any sound you want to do.
Yeah, and you think about, like Tangerine Dream from what do you call it?
Legend.
Oh, Legend. I was thinking what's it?
Risky Business.
Yeah, you're mentioning all of the ones, but the one I was thinking of oh gosh, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, the movie.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, thank you.
That's another one we'll need to do one day.
And who did the music for Tron? Was that Tangerine Dream too?
I don't know. I really don't remember.
But all of those had that really great 80s synth music.
Sarah Connor.
Right. And there's 3 Sarah Connors.
The lovely Linda Hamilton.
Man, with that 80s hair.
Yeah. I like what the kind of girl they were looking for fits her to a T.
Yep.
She's pretty, but not too pretty. She's the kind of girl that doesn't really stick out, but when you start talking to her, you really, really start to get attracted to her.
Right.
Big buttons.
Right. And Vangelis. Janice Zeal is right.
Yeah, Vangelis is another one. That was good. I like both of them. I was like, because Legend, they had the Tangerine Dream soundtrack, but they also have a Jerry Goldsmith soundtrack in Legend, which is really cool. And the European version totally changes the feel of the film. I just love the first car he commandeers is a station wagon.
And that scene was a shot that they did where this was after the show was done and they needed to get this shot and he didn't have a permit. And he says, we got to do this and we got to do it quick before the police come.
Yeah, they had a few shots like that. The ones with her at the end of the Jeep, they had to do the same way. I've had waitresses like that.
I'm always pretty understanding because you could tell when they're trying.
Yeah. Oh, I am too. You can tell when they're having a really bad day, and you can see that one table that are being butt heads.
Yeah.
Alamo. And of course, another classic guy coming up, Dick Miller.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'm always going to know him. I'm always going to remember him from Gremlins, though.
Yeah. The guy that created that gun was not paid foreign money. They gave him stuff from the film. Wow. Merchandise, film merchandise. Uzi 9mm. He says less than 100 words in the entire movie.
A lot of the movements that he made, he came up with himself, and he said to Cameron, he said, I'm just thinking through how a robot would move as efficiently as possible,
And his voice really came in handy because it's like, okay, the computerized vocal center can't quite get the human voice right.
Right.
So it might come out kind of like
stunted. Oh. Yeah, exactly. Like someone whose English is not their first language. Now, Nanette asked me something earlier, and I wasn't 100% certain. So he's Austrian, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Would he speak German? Is that his original language?
I believe so.
Okay.
Now this gets me on the other phone book. The page that they've had Sarah Connor on was on the right. On that one, it was on the left.
Oh, interesting.
I just one of those things I remember noticing. That is, I just love that. Just driving over the truck like that. That'll teach your kid to leave stuff in the freaking
Right? Absolutely. You
yeah.
left it there. It's what happens.
Daft Punk did Tron.
That's
Matchsticks.
probably right. That's probably right.
Yeah. Tron Legacy was done by Daft Punk. Wait a minute. Oh, I don't know.
Right. Janis Zeal was saying that Wendy Carlos did the original Tron
Oh,
music.
okay. I just
Yeah.
had the wrong name. It's not me.
Yeah, and you look at her and go, nah, it seems unlikely that she's yet to have kids, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? He's a computer. He's like, doesn't matter. Just make sure. Got to catch them all.
Not only do they have someone in the movie smoking, but they're smoking in a restaurant.
Yeah.
The good old days.
1984.
She's taking too much glee about with that. You did, honey.
Well, when it's just a coincidence, it's like it's something to, yeah, it's terrible, but ha ha, someone with the same name. But yeah, when more than one of them, you realize, okay, somebody's out for Sarah Connor.
Marjane says Arnold speaks German with an Austrian accent. Dark Stranger saying, since you guys bought a Blade Runner and are watching Terminator, perhaps you guys should watch Soldier from 1998 with Kurt Russell.
I
That
like
was a
that
good
movie
film.
too. Yeah,
That's a good movie.
In fact, if I remember correctly, that movie indirectly shares continuity with Blade Runner.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it references
okay.
some of the same colonies.
Okay.
That what's his name? Rucker Hauer's character mentions.
I love those. They're the hunter killers, the HKs.
Yeah.
But talking about Soldier, I'm sure a lot of people remember at the very end they had to put in a credit later about acknowledging the works of Harlan Ellison.
Really?
You remember that?
I don't.
Because it's similar. He claimed it was similar to his story called The Soldier, which was on Outer Limits about a warrior from the past comes to the future fighting another thing.
Yeah.
It's similarity. It's very basic kind of stuff. But the guy that played the soldier, the good guy soldier in that one, on Outer Limits, Michael Ansara.
Wow, really?
Yep. Outer Limits or Twilight Zone, one of those. I forget exactly. But I read that. I was like, oh, that's a cool piece of Klingon trivia I could bring up.
Yep.
Mohammed, the good old days of developing lung cancer. Yep, pretty much. A car like that reminds me of this old game we used to play called Car Wars. You have a car and you trick it out with armor and weapons. Yeah, that would wake you up.
Well, and this is what sets it apart from just your typical, action adventure film, dealing with some really, I mean, he literally fought in a war, fighting for
Yeah,
his life, fighting for survival. He has PTSD. There's no doubt about that.
He was literally fighting a war yesterday.
Yes.
There's the hottie roommate.
Oh, okay. Well, now see, standing next to Linda Hamilton, that's why I don't remember her.
Well, that's true, but still,
she's okay. But yeah,
she's a little curvier than Linda Hamilton. Got her little Jetson shirt on.
the wet hair too.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, wet hair.
She's just listening.
Just mess with him. Too much funny. Start right over again. The great Paul Winfield and Lance Henriksen.
Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd actually forgotten Lance Henriksen was in this.
Mm-hmm. Well, Lance Henriksen, of course, would also end up in Aliens,
right?
With Michael Biehn as well.
Right.
Connor. I don't care how small he appears. I still think he could kick a lot of people's butt.
I agree.
He just has that. He just has that feel.
Look at that hair.
I know.
And I mean 80s. Both of them.
The early 80s, baby. See, she's all sweet girl next door, and the other one is like built for something completely different. Kind of like a girl who has an iguana.
And that really is true. Iguanas like to climb to the highest spot they can get to.
Mm-hmm. I always think it'd be cool to have like an iguana or something named Godzilla. I'm sure a lot of people do that, but I would do that too.
Dark Stranger makes a good point. Lance Henriksen and Bill Paxton, both in this film.
That's true. That's true.
Both in Aliens. That's right.
Game over, man.
Game over. Yeah.
In fact, he stole the film. Yeah, that's one we'll have to put on for future consideration. Alien and Aliens.
Absolutely. And then we stop there. I think for a lot of these, we got to do the first movie, the second movie, and maybe just stop.
Yeah, because no reason to torture ourselves.
There's very few where the third one is, even worth it. I mean, Back to the Future works as a trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. A lot of people put down the third movie, but I like the third movie. Where Jane's wearing a Minnie Mouse shirt. Sweet. Hot girl on a scooter.
Now that I think about it, at this point, the first time through, you don't even know why he's there or why he's following her.
Right. Yeah. You don't know why anyone's doing it. Well, you figured out that one Arnold wants to kill Sarah Connor because he's already killed 2 of them.
Agent Boomer, I'm not entirely certain I agree with you about Terminator 3. It was okay. I wouldn't say it was perfect.
Well, he doesn't say it's perfect, but it's more fun than.
Oh, he said it isn't perfect. Okay, fair enough.
It's a decent popcorn movie.
It's better than the ones that came after it.
Yeah, true. Terminator 3 was. It literally Terminator 2 are the perfect duality.
Yeah, I agree.
Terminator 2, of course, is like you all right? Ooh,
that was I just hit the microphone again.
Oh, that's all right. There you go. Keep in tune, buddy. Rick Rossovich. Always playing as like big, sometimes he'd play a bully or play the football player kind of guy. Soldiers. The captain of the Reliant.
That's right. That was pretty tragic. And here we go.
It has been a long time since I've been to a pizza place where, you have like the little stand with the pizza on it and everything.
Yeah, I'd be a little worried too now.
Yeah. I, of course, would be screwed because I'm the only one I know of my name. I think there might be another 1 or 2 out there, like in the entire country. But my last name's not exactly a popular last name either. How many of you Pacellis are there?
My grandfather used to say that Pacellis are like horse shit. They're all over the place. Mohammed, you're right. The Terminator does kind of have that Kurgan vibe, doesn't he? I get you. And Melissa Harris brings up the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Oh my gosh. If any, turning it into a TV show, they were doing a freaking brilliant job, but it basically it had the curse of
Fox Television.
Exactly. And anything good you knew wasn't going to last.
Yeah, they move it around. They did everything they could to kill it.
See, yeah, that's right. She's trying to hide from him because she thinks he's the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know he's not the one that killed those 2, but we still don't know that he's doesn't have nefarious intents.
$4.50 to get in the club. That'd be $20 now.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, Latino sci-fi geeks bringing up Firefly. That's the biggest tragedy Fox ever did commit.
Well, but there was a lot of them. That's for sure.
Dark Stranger's going to Kurgan. Damn, now I'm thinking of a Clancy Brown style Terminator.
That would be pretty cool. That would have worked.
The Terminator in that day. Yeah. Same time. I mean, around the same time. Mid 80s when.
And the fact is, they didn't all have to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They could have looked like any big guy.
Considering you'll see later in a flashback, Franco Columba plays one, and he's only 5'5".
Yeah.
Like I said, they were infiltrators. They of course had to have masks because of the armor they had.
Right.
But the outer bits
I think they're going a bit far with listening to music when she gets up from bed. It's like, really?
Yeah, that's kind of her thing.
I get it, but like nobody does that. Even today, when people are listening with earbuds and their phones.
But how nice of her to be making a sandwich for her boyfriend after sex.
I think she's hungry too, though.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure she's making some for the man too.
Oh, this is why they need her to have what do you call it? Because they don't want her to hear.
Right.
It's a staging thing. Okay, so now I get it.
I love the little beat that you hear. The
Yeah.
do. Brad Fidel said that he wanted to be like the heartbeat of a machine.
Oh, I like that. That's actually quite clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got two wrong Sarah Connors and one who just happens to live with Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
Because he's a dumb machine.
Now, of course, if she hadn't made this call,
yep, he wouldn't have even known he hadn't gotten Sarah Connor.
Would he have thought mission complete?
Yep. And now she's just giving away her location.
Yeah. And it's not the first time, and it won't be the last time she makes that dumbass mistake either in this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolf Tembia saying her boyfriend was a total trooper. Too bad he dies. Yeah, I mean he tried to put up a fight, but he's just not going to beat the Terminator. That's just not going to happen.
And in fairness, I mean, Kyle knows he's going up against a Terminator, so he knows, how to deal with it. If you don't know that this is, a war machine from the future, you just think it's some guy,
Yeah, and of course now with the ID, he knows what she looks like and has all her contacts.
I've got 33 minutes 25 seconds, Mohammed. $33.35.
Yeah, I got 33.44. I'm a little ahead, but not too much. You've got me. I love the music in this. Yeah. I know it's so 80s, but
I love 80s music. I really do. Yeah.
I still remember when I first found the soundtrack on an LP. I was like, yes. Went home and played that sucker all night.
And I love, and I've heard Cameron talk about how he filmed this and what he was going for. He absolutely nailed it. This build up, the stalking, the slow-mo, kind of like how he described it, like when you're watching a car crash and you can't stop it and there's nothing you can do about it and time just seems to slow down. Yeah, and she thinks she's in trouble, and she is, just not from the person she's just seen.
And of course, we still don't know he's a robot.
That's true. You're absolutely right about that.
I mean, we know he's a robot now, but back then. If you're
I'm
watching them the first
glad
time,
you brought that up because I actually had lost sight of that fact.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of the way, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I think you kind of start to guess.
You're starting to put 2 and 2 together.
Now, see, he's got an Uzi there.
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted to be realistic about it should have jammed on him.
I just like how he goes into robot mode.
Yep. Yeah, that's one of the things he talked about, the whole idea of turning, his upper part and then his bottom part to match it, his eyes moving and then his head moving to match where he was looking.
Mm-hmm.
And Cameron said that when he saw it in the dailies the following day, he's like, yeah, this really works.
Yeah. Dark Stranger bringing up on a side note, Sarah Connor Chronicles, Lena Headey played Sarah, and Genesis, Emilia Clarke played Sarah, both from Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I thought that Emilia Clarke was a good casting. They needed to make her look a little taller. That would have been a little bit better. But overall look was pretty good.
Yeah. Jai Courtney, not a big fan. The guy they had playing Kyle Reese.
Yeah, he did not look right for the role at all. I like him fine, but not for that role.
Burned his sideburn. I mean, burned his eyebrows off.
Makes perfect sense, though.
Yep.
Arnold said that was the worst scene to film, the smoking jacket, because they poured acid on him, and it was, and he was really concerned about the acid being near his face and eyes. He's like, yeah, I didn't mind, being thrown from the car and all the other stuff they did, but he says I was really concerned about the acid on the jacket.
I bet Boom Pro. I always like the way he got rid of that guy.
See, you see one of those old-fashioned black and whites, and it just seems out of place to me without a huge speaker on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blues Brother. We've got to do Blues Brothers. Oh, we got to do Blues Brothers.
Love Blues Brothers.
Yes. But you'd think at this point, though, she would kind of get, you know what? This guy just saved me from the other guy.
But she's in shock. She doesn't know what's going on right now.
You're right.
She's going from, okay, 2 people with my name are dead. I'm hiding out. I just saw all this stuff.
You're right, Mohammed. I do need to explain the reason they put and it was actually an acid and something else. It was 2 chemicals that they put on him and rubber cement. That's what it was, to make that smoking effect. And Arnold was like, can't you just put a smoke machine under my coat or something?
Casey Scott's like, well, I'm as old as this film. Forgot it came out in 84. one little piece of trivia I always liked. This film, when it came out, was #1 for 2 weeks. The film that knocked it out, George Burns's "Oh God, You Devil."
No kidding.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, I did like that too. Now there's a perfect example of a third movie that absolutely was excellent.
Yeah.
Oh God, Book 2, and Oh God, You Devil. Those 3 movies.
Yeah, I love them. I would love to get a hold of them on, digitally.
Are they on? Did they get released on DVD? I hope so. I'll
I
have to check.
don't really know. I haven't checked in a long time.
Those would be 3 movies that I'd want to put into a little box set, because you know how I like to make up box sets of collections of movies. Put them together in a box set with Bruce Almighty and Evan Almighty.
Definitely in the same vein.
Yeah, and see, I think this is a brilliant way for them to give you the exposition in the middle of the action. It's not boring. It's not just, a dialogue dump,
Yep. I mean, because
and it makes perfect sense. He needs to convey this information to her.
Yeah. He needs to earn her trust because
Right. Aged Boomer, as a matter of fact, I am planning to do a Planes, Trains, and Automobiles rewatch on Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
I'll be doing that on my channel.
Love that movie.
Probably going to have Nanette co-hosting with me for the first time.
That will be a sweet one. Be a great film to watch with you guys.
Okay. See, I don't
being in the chat.
I don't know how many people are actually going to be able to tune in on Thanksgiving, but I watch that movie every year of Thanksgiving anyway, so I see no reason not to do a rewatch.
Oh no, I think this is a great platform to do little traditional, kind of things like that. Like I don't know when it comes on, but when Rudolph comes on,
oh yeah,
like 8:00, that 8:00, just say, you know what? If you want to watch it, it's going to be on television. I'm gonna watch it and do a stream. I think that'd be. I might want to do that actually. Got to find out when it's on. Love Rudolph. Poor eyebrows. He looks so funny.
I'll tell you, it really does. It gives you that real unnatural look, Which actually, when they do the later effects that don't look quite right, you're kind of set up for it because you've already seen him without eyebrows. So you're already seeing that kind of not right look, that uncanny valley,
They always seem to have trouble when they're doing Arnold. Arnold's always seemed to have his head having stuff done to it.
Yeah.
Like in this one, in Total Recall, they did the same thing.
Yep. And, that's kind of the nature of these kinds of sci-fi films,
You just got to do the best you can sometimes, practically. And Professor Geek is in the house. Hi, Professor.
Professor Geek needs fashion help.
Well, he knows my affinity for. I've already talked about Kyle Reese's shoes. How they were the shoes I like, and of course the upcoming gargoyle sunglasses, which are fabulous. I mean, especially when you got hot girls in a movie, you got to comment on their clothes somehow a little bit.
Yeah, they're wearing too many.
Yeah, a lot of times. I wonder how many kids, when they see this, have tried to do this. The kids started, like bust up the car to see if they can start it. What's going on?
Oh yeah, that's right. That Dark Stranger brought up the fact that as far as makeup goes, there was also Junior where they gave him the big belly.
Oh yeah. And then, of course, Twins. That is a film a lot of people forget about.
I did like that one.
Both of those, actually, Junior and Twins.
So I had actually forgotten about this. He talks about being put into camps, which is something you see in Terminator Salvation. So at least they were thinking through some of these things,
Yeah, it's like they tried to get the right concepts, but they just never really quite pulled it off.
Well, there was always elements that kind of messed it up. I thought the whole artificial heart thing was ridiculous and stupid. The Helena Bonham Carter, Borg Queen was not right.
Yeah. Wolf Ted Media, I don't know about the lack of clothes thing, but I do have a thing for 80s jeans.
Absolutely right. I think that those form-fitting jeans that are slightly high in the waist, that are very flattering of the female form, very, very smart. I don't know why that ever went out of style.
And that's how you know that a car has front-wheel drive.
Yep. Absolutely. You shoot at me, I'll shoot at you.
It's a hard thing to do, shooting and while driving, shooting a pump action shotgun.
You got a lot of practice at that, Al? A lot of experience?
It takes a lot to get it right, I tell you.
I would think so.
You can tell that last scene was sped up a little bit.
Yeah.
By the flashing lights.
Yep.
Going a little faster than usual.
Oh, those cars were boats and built solid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when somebody's shooting at you, you want a good, solid tank.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was someone asking for a timestamp?
Yeah, Mara Jade.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm at 49, 21, 22, 23, 24.
Yeah, I'm at 29, 30, 31. Reese! Smart move on her case.
Exactly. That's where you start to see her starting to get her head in the game and literally become the hero.
Yeah, and just saving his life. It's like they will kill you.
Yep. It's like it's that hero's journey. It's not a male-female thing. It is what it takes to go from zero to hero, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she was just kind of a literally ditzy little waitress. Um, self-esteem kind of took a hit that night.
Yeah.
With the boyfriend canceling out on her. And now suddenly she is where she's at here.
Right.
Heavy duty smoking.
Puff in your face a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
Owen Lister, they're in the police station. We're at 51 minutes even.
And we're about to see the psychiatrist. Isn't he wonderful?
All right.
Is Ed Bowen in that his name? I'm not sure. I think that's what I remember.
He doesn't usually play a very likable character.
No, he always has that. He's always like the snotty store owner, or the snotty somebody. He's always
just snotty. Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes that'll work for you. You get. I really appreciate actors like that. The character actors.
Yeah.
They're not the leads, but they are. Sometimes they're the role you remember.
Yeah. And it's, you can be the lead, but it's all those other supporting roles that make the movie,
Mm-hmm. God, do a little repair.
Yeah. A little field work.
Wolf 10 Media, so am I a bad person because I rooted for the Terminator in the shootout? Yes, you are.
Yes, you're terrible. You're just terrible.
Naughty, naughty, naughty.
And this is one of those scenes where you know how it's done, and yet it still looks awesome,
Yeah. It looks very much like them fixing Luke's arm, and except exactly. A lot bloodier. Except a lot bloodier.
It's like, why would you bother even trying to convince anyone of this? I mean, it's probably not the right tactic. Wouldn't it be better to just say, I knew that she was the third Sarah Connor. I was trying to protect her.
Yeah, it would have been a smarter idea. Or I saw this guy point a gun at her, and
I just happen to have had a gun under my coat.
Just happen to have a shotgun with me. So boom, boom, boom. Well, to me, my excuse because I was a child at the time. Only if you eat your green beans at dinner, then you'll be forgiven.
Okay, that's something I hadn't considered. So that was an established part of the storyline. After they went back in time, they blew the place up. So they can't do any more time traveling.
Yeah, supposedly.
Okay, so but based on other movies, we have to assume that didn't actually happen.
Or they had another facility or something.
Yeah.
Here's one of
the. Yeah, this is hard to watch, even when you know it's a robot.
Yeah. Let's get rid of this fleshy thing that's now stopping up my vision. Broccoli is greater than green beans. I agree. I love broccoli. I like my veggies actually. I'm pretty good with veggies, except for Brussels sprouts. They have to be fixed right. One of the lesser effects. I mean, it's a good effect, but it's just not realistic.
Yeah. And what's really too bad is that that's a scene that they could actually, you just put on glasses and it's fixed.
Yep.
It's
gargoyle sunglasses. And I remember when looking for those, they were like over $100 at the time.
yeah.
I think they're cheaper.
Oh yeah.
I think they're cheaper now. But when this movie came out, gargoyle sunglasses went through the roof because everybody wanted a pair.
I wanted the glasses that they wore in V. Those big ones.
Oh yeah.
Visor ones. Yeah.
Ray guns?
Yeah.
Agent Boomer is like, do you think the cleaning lady found the eyeball in the sink?
Good point. Although that place didn't look like it got a whole lot of cleaning. This is great stuff. You could also make a really good movie out of it.
Yep. He is just so happy.
Yeah.
I can make a lot of money off this guy. Love her body language in this scene, chewing her fingernails.
Well, that's the funny thing too. She had a lot of theater experience, and she saw herself as like a really serious actress, and she wasn't fired up about appearing with Arnold. She was like, he doesn't. I don't think he's really got the acting chops. She was kind of full of herself back then.
Sorry. I also read that right before the film started, she sprained her ankle, and she was like in pain most of the
really.
Yeah, she gutted it out. They were taping her ankle up all the time. Like, I like he's always starting these little stories. See this guy? Here's a guy lit an Afghan on fire.
But there here's the other thing. You know, people that are trained, people that, you know, work at it over long periods of time can break boards, they can break glass, they can break all kinds of things with a punch.
Oh yeah.
It's not, you know,
it's not unforeseen. Although tempered glass is rather tough.
But a side window, especially if it's got a what do you call it? Even a scratch in it. If there's any kind of a score, it's a lot easier to break.
It's so sad he had to leave.
Yeah. But I do love that he's walking out as the Terminator's coming in. It's like, this is the proof of everything that guy was saying, and you're missing it. You don't even see it.
Mm-hmm. The famous line.
Yep.
Arnold had a hard time saying "I'll." He wanted to go. He wanted to say "I will be back," because he was actually, and it was funny. He was saying, "Would a computer really use
contractions?"
Contractions. Yeah. Arnold was ahead of his time thinking of robotic theory.
Exactly, because that's exactly a consideration that they made in Star Trek: The Next Generation with Data. They purposely tried to avoid him using contractions for that very reason.
But I like the fact is like, it just happened to be that Arnold had a hard time saying "I'll."
Yeah.
he had to practice it. And now, of course, it's like his go-to phrase.
Yeah. The thing that James Cameron said about that line was he didn't anticipate it being as funny as it was, but it's because especially on the first viewing, you don't know what he's about to do. But I guess a lot of people kind of saw it coming, you know. When that guy says I'll be back, what does that mean?
Oh, and listeners, like, you realize Terminator and Predator are a good example of mixing action genre and the horror genre together.
Yeah,
sure,
absolutely.
Yeah. Predator. That's another one we'll have to do. The years are filling up with rewatches.
That's okay. We'll hold it together for the professor.
But of course, next week we're going to be doing the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yeah, so I figured we'd talk more about that afterwards. But yeah. that's definitely
just throw it out. But we'll jive on that a little bit after the film.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hide underneath here. Because she still does have that. If I can just hide.
Mm-hmm. I mean, can you imagine this event happening in today's world on like Fox News and MSNBC?
Well, you also know that the response would be very different. The police would be much more prepared for it. They'd have Homeland Security all over this, you know.
Oh, poor Paul Whitfield.
Wolf 10 Media. Also, back in the 80s, a desk like that was big and solid and made out of metal. Nowadays, it would just be particle board put together by IKEA.
I just had a flash of They Might Be Giants. Remember Particle Man? Particle Man. But now you think particle board.
Yeah.
Kyle. Oh, Reese. That's right.
Yeah.
That's a good name. Kyle Reese.
Yep. Oh, the synthesizer.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, man. That synth is awesome. A little gremlin.
Yeah.
I get just walking steadily away.
Yep.
And how that body language Arnold did. He doesn't get the credit for.
He really did think
body
it through.
acting. Yeah, he did. I mean, he gets a lot of ribbon for being robotic, but this is what
that was the intent. Yeah, and being robotic when you're playing a robot is not really as easy as people think.
Yeah.
You know how many times he didn't do all of his own stunts, but the stunts that he did, I'm sure there were times he hurt himself and he couldn't show any of that in his face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, after everything, her hair is still almost perfect.
Well, Al, you know how much hairspray they used in the 80s?
Yeah, I'm going to say, it's like, man.
Do you know how much hairspray I used in the 80s?
Aquanet, man.
Exactly.
That holds good.
It's like a helmet.
That was my mother's go-to, Aquanet.
Yep.
I never used hair product until I started doing my hair like as a comb back, and I started using gel, like the green stuff. It was the green one was the one I always had.
I could never get a handle on mousses and other products like that. It was always sprays with me.
Yeah. I do it, and then I just ton of gel it and just get it right. And then when she solidified, she was solid.
Yep. Like, do you understand? I've been shot so many times, and I didn't have a doctor to go to.
It's only a flesh wound.
It's called field medicine. Yeah, you'll see a lot worse.
Dark Truth, since we're going over 80 cyborg goodies, any chance we'll finish the night with ERB's epic rap battles, Terminator versus RoboCop?
Oh gosh.
Well, you guys can watch it. I don't know. I'm going to need to work on sharing screens and stuff. Not quite sure how that works.
Yeah. Professor Geek, I'm kind of surprised nobody commented on me even talking about the fact that I used hair product. I actually had hair at one time.
From hairspray to turtle wax.
Yeah, pretty much. It's exactly right.
Get that shine.
Yep.
He used moose back in the Don Johnson days. Lots of moose. It would be freaky for her to do, hear all this.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if there was a fourth Sarah Connor that just didn't have a phone.
Yeah. Oh, and Lister, I was actually gonna comment on that a little bit later on, but that's what makes this whole movie so much more than just an action film or even a horror film. It's very much an emotional film, and it's about these characters. You have to care about Kyle. You have to care about Sarah, and if you're not invested in them, it doesn't work.
And they got the right actors to portray them. They didn't get the at the time when we were watching this film, these were new babies on screen.
We didn't know these people at all. That's right.
Yeah, but think about that today. You'd have to get a fairly unknown actor who has kind of a likable personality.
I've been saying for the longest time, that's the problem with most of these movies. You look back at these great blockbusters and they usually had no names in them. Look at Superman. Nobody knew who Christopher Reeve was when they cast him as Superman. You keep trying to cast these big name stars and it doesn't work.
Brandon Routh. Nobody knew who he was.
Exactly.
And a great Superman, the film, of course, a lot of people have an issue with. I think I like it better than most, which is no surprise to anybody because I tend to like things more.
Well, I'm liking it more by comparison to the Snyderverse.
Oh, definitely. Now here's where I think we get the view of Franco Columbo.
Yeah.
Who just passed away, sadly.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Arnold's lifelong friend.
That scene that we just saw was actually reused footage. We had seen that earlier in the film. But that miniature in the background with the live action in the foreground, very, very well done.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, the effects for this really hold up.
Yes, they do.
God, much better than, a lot of other films from the 80s. And sometimes you just don't have to go so far. And the one big thing, and thankfully this film does it very well. If you're in a post-apocalyptic world, it can't look clean. Things have got to look dirty, used, chipped, broken, blasted. I mean, dense.
Yeah,
you've got to dirty it up.
And I love this bit too. The dogs there at the door to check people out.
Yep.
That was an element that they brought up again in the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
I like his little play shooting with the kid.
Yeah. Oof.
It makes you wonder what that stuff was made of.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to know. And I love that too. You see it from the back and you think they're watching TV, but then when you see it from there, it's just they've got a light.
Fire.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine that's your existence.
And that's the second time I'm pointing out a scene that I think is brilliant and is a good true use of subversion of expectations, you know?
Yeah. Caught his rat. Gonna have some meat tonight, baby.
Right.
Whoa.
Yep, the dogs start barking.
And there's Franco.
Yep.
All 5'5", muscle-bound man.
Yep.
2-time Mr. Olympia.
Oh, he got the dogs.
Yeah.
Although in all logic, it makes perfect sense. The dogs are the ones that can spot me. Yeah. They got to be done, you know?
I love that. I love the shot with the glowing eyes.
Yep. Well, Wolf 10 Media, I would have to say that, of course, I like the dude from Terminator 2. I mean, he was also brilliant. But after that, I don't actually, and the guy that played Cromartie in Sarah Connor Chronicles, he was really good too.
Christina Loken, just from a hottie standpoint.
Yeah, she was okay.
T3.
And
serviceable. But yeah, I mean, Arnold is
Summer Glau. Summer Glau did an excellent job too.
Oh yeah. But I was like when the American Movie Institute were doing their like top hundreds lists.
Yeah.
And they had top 100 heroes and villains, and the Terminator made both lists. This one as the villain and Terminator 2 as a hero.
Yeah, Dark Stranger. That's who I meant, Robert Patrick.
So we all have our those little responses in our head. We just have to pick one. Poor mom.
Yeah.
I always hear. God damn.
The hell's going on here?
And realistically, you would think at this point, I mean, like, well, Kyle wouldn't, but you would think you'd be kind of safe, you know? It's like, We're at an entirely random place. How can he find us? And how does he do it? She screws up. Oh, yeah. Sarah Connor in the shower. Always,
oh gosh,
always a good thing. I'm sorry, Nanette.
If you're really interested, you need to see Linda Hamilton in King Kong Lives.
I have.
Okay, okay.
Well, of course, in this film too, a little bit. A lot of people forget the love scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think because I remember it less sexy and more romantic.
Yeah, it was. It was a very romantic scene. Love a girl in a towel. Look at those shoulders. I'm such a shoulder man.
Actually, Stephen Cruz, I think if I was a Terminator, I wouldn't have a catchphrase. I'd be one of those types that just really doesn't talk. Wouldn't be wasting my time. I forgot they had established that in the first movie.
Which one?
That whole idea of the Terminators being able to take any voice they want.
Oh yeah. He did because he did it earlier with the cop.
Yeah, that's right.
What is that book that tells you to do all kinds of weird things? It's a something cookbook.
Oh, the Anarchist Cookbook.
Anarchist Cookbook. That's it. We always had people trying to order that at Borders.
And now it's probably all over the internet.
Oh, yeah. Arnie loves his bikes. Loves riding them. Whoa. My tummy was rumbling.
Teaching her to make a pipe bomb. See, and this is the aspect of time travel that I really wish they had focused more on in the later movies. I like the idea that it's a closed time loop, that he learns all this stuff in the future, comes back and teaches her, she teaches, it's like this cycle,
The father becomes the son, and John Connor was like a father to him.
Exactly. And I mean, there's always the debate about, is there a version where John Connor, where Sarah Connor was not hunted by a Terminator, and it initially happens and he sends Kyle back. And I think no, I think it was a predestination paradox. I think that Kyle was always John Connor's father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and Lister, that's exactly what I was getting at. You're not focused on the sexiness. You're focused on the emotional impact. It's not just about, hey, let's show some boobies.
Right, and the music that accompanies it, is perfect. It's perfect because it's the Terminator theme, but it's done with piano, which completely changes the mood of it.
Exactly.
But I remember because when this came out, I was like, not 20, when I was like 19. So I remember seeing that, and I just thought it was a beautiful scene, outside of the fact that, boobies.
Yeah.
But, so often see a truly romantic scene that has such emotional impact.
Like right
and
here.
This does.
This is the buildup. This
Yeah.
is where you get why he's doing this and what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
All because of a picture.
Exactly.
It was his touchstone.
Yeah.
And of course, later we find out what she was thinking.
What she was thinking.
And it's beautiful, and it's just such a beautiful.
She was actually thinking to some degree about him, and he had no way to know that. Yeah. I came across time for you, Sarah. That line. I love you, and I always have.
I always have.
Mean, that is to this day that puts goosebumps on the back of my neck.
And there's a part of him that feels so bad about saying it.
Yeah.
Because she is such an iconic figure to him. She's almost angelic, almost religious.
And his best friend's mom,
Yeah.
And I guess so going back, Mohammed was asking what I meant. This is what I meant. It's so sweet and so romantic.
I'm sorry, Mohammed was asked for a timestamp. I'm at 1:22:06.
Yeah, just look for the boobies, I guess.
But it is such a true love scene.
Yeah. You're right. I never noticed that about the music before.
Yeah. So they turned the main theme into the love theme by a simple change of an instrument.
You're right.
His first time. And of course,
yeah.
The last. Terrier movie made Burning in the Third Degree by the Triangles, one of my favorite songs of the 80s by Owen Lister. So, Melissa Harris, so yes, Children of the Corn. That's the film she did just before this one. She did Children of the Corn.
Who was in Children of the Corn?
Linda Hamilton.
Was she?
Yep.
It's so long, I don't even remember.
So he didn't waste time.
Right? Well, he's a machine. It's... Doesn't waste time. It's just, you're gone. Bye.
Boom.
We hit him so hard he dented the bumper. That's brilliant.
Tiki Motel, adult movies.
And hey, they got truck parking.
Owen Lister was Kyle a virgin before he met Sarah or not? Yeah. He pretty much said he was, that he had never been with anyone.
I mean, he spent all of his life literally as a soldier. He really didn't have time for extracurricular activities.
Mari Jane said she never thought of her as his best friend's mom. That's an interesting way to see it. Yep. See, of course, he just never realized his place in the entire thing too.
Right. Yeah, he wouldn't have known.
And of course, it's why John gave him a thing, because John does know. You do.
Yeah.
They let you know at the end he does know that Kyle is his father.
And so, to your point, Mohammed, I get what you're saying. I've heard other people say that, but I still happen to prefer to believe in the closed time loop. Yeah, Muhammad makes an excellent point. Look, the woman saves the man and doesn't try to make a big political statement out of it. Not only that, but she wasn't born a superhero yesterday. She actually had to, through this movie, develop into a hero. She was not a Mary Sue.
I love that he's gone from all these big super weapons. Now he's just down to a revolver.
Right.
Dang. I always thought if she just hadn't lost control, if she'd been able to keep that thing on all fours, she'd have been
true.
Been
but in fairness, she was doing better than she had any business doing. It's not like she's really been trained in combat driving or anything.
Oh no! I'm not putting that, but it's just the sad thing is like if that hadn't happened.
Oh, and Lister, I think we'll talk about that more maybe in a office hours or something. But I just to keep it simple, I would say one of the most important rules for writing good time travel story is internal consistency. Always internal consistency, I say, is the first rule of time travel stories.
Yeah, you just have to keep it straight.
And Wolf 10 Media, Ripley is a perfect example of what we were just talking about. She doesn't start out born yesterday as a hero, but she develops into one.
I mean, she did have leadership qualities because she was the number 2 on that ship.
True. I mean, she and you get the impression that she definitely had some training. She wasn't just I
just love that part. It's like
scary.
Get out.
yeah. I didn't really want to stay. Thanks. Another great line coming up right now.
Yeah. Don't.
The only thing that would have made this scene better is if the Green Goblin head was on the front of that truck.
Oh, let's just say Sarah Connor didn't do too bad for someone who just works at a diner.
Right?
Yeah.
Burn faster, burn faster.
Here it says a long fuse.
Right? And he just lost his headlights. And now he lost everything.
Yeah. That is a lot of fire.
And now it's time to get out of that dumpster because it's going to get real hot real fast. And this is where she starts to realize he will never stop.
Well, and it's like clean. He's being cleaned up by fire too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fire is going to expose his true nature.
Yeah, he is not going to be a cyborg anymore.
I mean, think about when you first watched this film and had no idea what was going on. There might have been there was that part of you that's like, is that the end? is it finally dead? And of course, you get the great reveal in a few minutes, but after the little reunion here.
Yep. But we had the foreshadowing because he said earlier, it will not stop. It doesn't get tired. It does not quit.
Will not stop ever until you are dead.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, the 80s jeans were nice, weren't they?
I told you.
That is just such an epic scene.
Yep.
It's just rising in the flame.
Now, here's another little bit of trivia. This unit is basically a full-sized 200-pound metal puppet.
Yeah. A little stop action.
They did stop action. They did, the physical movement. They actually had to, the puppeteers actually had to make the thing walk as though it had a limp. Think about that.
Yeah. And not only that, but the limp it used is Arnold's limp.
Yeah.
Arnold limped, and they copied his body language with it.
Isn't that mind-boggling? It's hard enough to make
great attention to like this right there.
Yeah,
that was based on Arnold's movement.
Yep.
It's like almost like a Harryhausen ode.
Wolf 10 Media, you make an excellent point, and I've been saying that for the longest time about this whole so-called feminism that they put into films. It's not doing women any justice. It actually makes them look worse, and it is patronizing.
I mean, that man is running on adrenaline right now, and that's all he's got. He has bled, shot, blown up.
Actually, from what I've seen of scenes and whatnot, Owen Lister, the Terminator fused with the Venom symbiote is basically what the Terminator is in
Dark Fate.
And I love that bit. On your feet, soldier.
Yeah.
You see that she's becoming the soldier leader that she needs to be.
Such an intense scene, and
yep.
He looks around and he sees what could be his friends.
Yeah,
and on any other day, these could be his buddies.
Well, these are actually, if you think about it, in a way, they're his ancestors.
Yeah, the precursor. That is to this day, still such a great design. The endoskeleton.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oops.
Damn it, girl.
But actually not so much, because that is how they end up destroying him.
Yeah, she does remember it.
Wow. Just wow.
Yeah, just so intense. Must be hard to walk with like just those metal feet.
Yeah, now that you mention it, you're probably right.
This is a man who will do anything for that woman.
Yep. Also realizing that she's the target.
Yeah. One left.
That's an excellent point, Aged Boomer. Not only is Kyle going back to Father John, who sends him back in time, a loop, but the Terminator going back in time and being the seed by which Skynet and the Terminators come about. It's an excellent parallel.
It's like a piece of him got it.
And look at how her legs twisted back.
Yeah. This would be so hard to do if you had like a piece like that in you.
Yeah. Now, she really should not be doing that, but for dramatic reasons, it demonstrates her coming a lot farther from where she was when Kyle got shot earlier, you know?
Like, how is there even any debate in regards to whether it's a predestination paradox?
Yeah.
Poor Kyle. He gave it all, man.
He sure did.
Well done, soldier. And I like the symbolism here.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to get to her unless it went over his dead body.
Over his dead body. Exactly. And it also demonstrates how it will not quit. It's lost half of its body, one of its arms, and it's still coming after her.
It is programmed to do whatever it can in whatever way it can.
Yep.
So imagine if Reese lived to be a dad to John, said Wolf 10 Media. That would have been a nice thing, but unfortunately. I'm sure there are fan fictions out there that have
I'm sure
tackled that alternate reality. Latino Sci-Fi Geek, in a deleted scene, they showed this as a Cyberdyne factory, and Kyle and Sarah built those bombs to try to destroy it and stop Skynet from existing. Boosh.
Yep.
So hot.
Yep. Now, how does she not get electrocuted? Although I'm still not entirely certain what's causing that electrical discharge, but whatever.
Well, it has, remember, it has like a small nuclear battery in it.
Yeah, so why didn't it explode?
Yeah, I know. It's like, they don't think about that until the third film.
Yeah.
And we will see that hand again.
Yeah.
That was another scene that they had to film after they wrapped.
What's that?
Was the thing zipping over his head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have that shot. They wanted it.
It makes sense.
Such a sad.
It is.
Sad end for a good soldier.
Oh yeah, I guess I would get a dog right away too.
Yeah.
I want to know when a Terminator's coming.
Cigars and sodas.
Oh, remember the
I love those Jeep Renegades.
remember how they used to have that little tube that would run out that you'd run over to go ding ding so that they'd know to come out and
Yeah.
fill your gas tank. Oh yeah, fill her up.
Such a beautiful little monologue.
Yeah.
And that's what she was thinking about when that picture was taken.
That's right.
Just so it's just so beautiful, Troy.
It really is. I mean, and
it is. It's just,
and it's tragic that he doesn't know that. I always wondered what you were thinking about when that picture was taken.
Yeah,
she was thinking of him. Yeah.
I mean, this is the Terminator is not a film you think of when you think of a romantic story, but it truly, truly is.
Yeah.
Enviar la tormenta.
Here comes a storm. Do you hear that music? It's the same music again.
Just
a little bit different. Yeah. That's creepy.
Great movie.
I think it was a good call.
It was the acknowledgement to the works of Harlan Ellison.
Yep.
That was added like after like it came out on video and future viewings because of a lawsuit to this day that Cameron disagrees with.
Well, they had to do what they had to do, but you know, I mean, let's face it. I mean, there are some story elements that just make sense, and you don't have to directly copy someone to say, you know what, that story idea, you know, it's a trope and it has to be used.
Yeah, there are a lot of similar ideas. I mean, time travel.
Just the very idea of time travel lends itself to those kinds of stories.
To all kinds, and you're going to have similar ideas.
Yeah. Man.
Great movie.
And
great music.
I just feel awesome about you don't need to reboot something. You just rewatch it, you know, because it was so classic. That's why we loved it. And then you go and you destroy it, you know?
Yep.
The whole
you can't destroy it. It exists. It is beautiful. It is wonderful.
Right. You know, I get what you're saying. It's just the storyline that we loved. Why you destroy the value of your own franchise by destroying the storyline that we loved. By killing off John Connor, you wipe away, you know, the whole purpose for 1 and 2. You know?
Literally, I mean, you have literally wiped from existence every other film.
Yep. Which I suppose wiping away everything from 3, 4, you know, and so forth is probably not such a horrible thing, but it does destroy 1 and 2 as well, because now you never have John sending Kyle back and so forth. And congratulations, you pretty much ended your franchise.
Yeah.
Really, it bombed so badly. It bombed so badly. There is nowhere to go from here.
The other punk, Brad Reardon. Yep, never heard of him again.
Right? I'm gonna have to look him up now on IMDb and see if he ever did anything.
Yeah, see if he ever. Yeah, man. He's like, I was the third guy with Brad Thompson and Bill Paxton. Well, folks, that is the Terminator, 1984.
Actually, it looks like this guy played a whole bunch of roles between 1973 and 1984, and then he had only one other role after Terminator in a movie called Who's That Girl in 1987.
I remember that movie. Who's that?
He played the record store cashier, whatever that means.
Who's that girl?
But he was in an episode of Wonder Woman.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was watching that
One Day at a Time. Quincy. And then he did the Terminator, and he had one other role, and then that was it. That was the end of his career.
Terminator killed his career,
I guess.
Or, some people just, they do stuff and just never catch on, and they just go on to different things and become, bankers or car dealers.
Audio was done by Skywalker Sound.
Yep.
Huh. Well, there you go. It all comes back to Star Wars, doesn't it?
Yeah, I tell you, once the ILM and those guys and all the subsidiaries, THX, audio stuff, Skywalker Sound.
Yeah.
Like I said, the ILM. Now they've got with the Wheatle Workshop in New Zealand gets a lot of stuff now. Ever since Lord of the Rings was so praised for its effects.
So tomorrow I will be releasing a promotional video for the next rewatch, which is going to be the Star Wars Holiday Special. And tomorrow is the actual anniversary, because it was the 17th of November that the Holiday Special aired. So that's when I will release the video.
And actually, technically, for half of the U.S., it is today the anniversary now, because it's past midnight. But
that's right. It's past midnight. That's right.
Just a little technicality. Yes, it's a cute. I love that. I love that video you did. That's an awesome.
So I guess I will actually go ahead and put it out there right now. Why not?
Yeah,
because I can, and then I'll even drop the link in the stream.
Yep, drop the link. And the stuff will be explained, and it's going to be next Saturday at 10. So it's going to be an hour earlier. We're going to start trying that to see if we can, lure the carrot in front of the fan man to see if we can get them on the air. And hopefully we can. The holidays get a little weird for everybody, with especially when you have a family like he does. And such. So we're going to be starting it at 10. We're going to see how that works. The 10 o'clock time slot. Are you guys good with the time slot starting at 10? Give me a Y for yes, N for no. But I think it'll be.
I really do think that going a little bit earlier, especially on one like this, with the hopes that we might get Fan Man in, that would really be nice.
Fan Man in, and it also could make doing a longer movie a little easier, because we're not going to be up till 2 or 3 in the morning watching a movie and talking about it afterwards.
So Matanui, I'm going to make a defense for the holiday special. First, I don't think it's worse than The Last Jedi. And secondly, I remember when this first aired, so I have a little bit of nostalgia for it. This was after the only thing we had was Star Wars. We only had one movie. This also predates VHS Well, it doesn't really, but I mean the mass marketing of VHS.
Yeah,
so having Star
it
Wars,
was, but it was hundreds of dollars.
Yeah,
to have
being able to have Star Wars in your possession and watch it whenever you wanted, that was not possible. I saw it as many times as I could that first year and so many months that it was in the theaters. And then we didn't know they were going to re-release it again before Empire. So for them to put on this holiday special on TV, we were all pretty excited about that.
And quite frankly, so bad George Lucas didn't want it to ever get out again.
He didn't want his name on it. His name does not appear in the closing credits at all.
I mean, yes, it's bad. In the realm of things, some things are bad, but it doesn't mean they're not fun to watch.
Wait a minute. We got to take a pause here. Mohammed said, I am meeting up with a girl. It's been a while too. So since I have seen her, so can you give me any pointers? Al, you want to take that one?
You're meeting up with a girl. It's been a while. It's I've seen her. So can you give me a pointer? Now, of course, I don't know any little minutia about this possible relationship. I would say be nice if it's a possible rekindling of a romance, a former girlfriend that holds the possibility. Would you do flowers? A little small flower, like a flower. Like a yellow rose? No, not a yellow rose. Carnation, maybe.
I would the pointer I would give. And
I don't
know.
I don't know the context. I need to know the context of
this. I would say you don't even need to know the context to know this little piece. Be yourself, because if you don't win her over being yourself, then there's really no future.
Yeah, don't try to act cooler than you actually are, because then you're setting the bar too high for yourself. You'll never be able to raise it.
Mara, oh my gosh, C-3POs, I remember those. Oh, yes. You are brilliant to have brought those up. That's right. I used to eat those.
C-3POs.
It was the only sugared cereal that I did eat, because I normally didn't like them, but it was Star Wars, so I did.
I love kitsch cereal. When Batman cereal was out, Mr. T cereal, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Always fun.
And Owen Lister, nostalgia trumps the fact that the holiday special was bad. On one element, yeah, I would say, yeah. There's a lot of things that don't hold up well over time that I remember very, very fondly. But I also think that the holiday special is not as bad as most people think it is. I mean, yes, there are very bad elements of it, but there are also some really good aspects to it. And from what I understand, Favreau is doing a great job of honoring it in The Mandalorian.
Very much. I mean, he's got that rifle.
He's got the rifle that shows up.
Is awesome.
In Boba Fett's first appearance, he makes reference to Life Day, and he has gone on record saying that if he gets the opportunity, he wants to make some kind of a new Star Wars holiday special.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Muhammad's saying met her for a day, but the chemistry was there. And I remember, dude, I am 19 in 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mara saying no flowers.
No flowers. Yeah, no flowers. I was kind of being a little weird about that one. Just be yourself. Be kind, gentle, polite. Open the door. I'm sorry. Guys should always open the door. Always,
But I would say that's not a gender thing. That's a gentleman thing. You should do that for women. You should do it for other men. You should do it for anyone, because it's just a nice thing to do for people.
Yeah, you find the gentleman's handbook somewhere.
Exactly.
There are things that you should be doing all the time, and if you learn to do them, then you're always good. But yeah, definitely, be yourself. Be Muhammad.
Melissa Harris asked if the Star Wars special is canon. No, it is absolutely not canon. However, it is becoming more and more canon because more and more people like to make references to it. Like I said, Favreau has made reference to Life Day. Life Day is now canon. That weapon that the Mandalorian uses is now canon. So I would say more and more of it's becoming canon.
Yeah. I can't wait to watch it because it literally has been a long man. It's been a long time since I've seen it, and it's full glory. And it is on YouTube. It is the WHIO version. Is that who he?
WHIO Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that one. We'll make sure you guys have the link when we do it.
In fact, I don't remember who it was who asked for it, but they asked if in advance I would put out the link. So when I said that I would, I just put the link in the stream for my little promo video that I did. That it's just, you guys don't really need it because you guys already know the details, but I will comment there with the link that we're going to use.
And while you're there, if you haven't, subscribe to Troy Pacelli's.
I would very much appreciate it if you did. Here it is. I got the link. I'm going to go ahead and drop it into the comment section of that video so that those of you that feel the need to see it in advance can do so.
You'll have it buried, but we'll make sure we drop it before we do the rewatch next week.
And we'll drop it in there into the video. Yeah.
10 o'clock. Like I said, 10 o'clock next Saturday, an hour earlier. Just because might try to get the fan man in here. God, I'd love to get the fan man in for this one. that would be awesome.
Okay, I'm dropping it in there right now. There we go.
And as far as after that, we'll figure that out later. Let's just enjoy the fact that we had a great technically first show, sort of, kind of, and we have a lot of fun planned next week with the Star Wars Holiday Special. I love what you did with this a long time ago.
So I gotta say, I've really been psyched about this. I think you guys all know because I've talked about it before. I've been doing custom action figures from the holiday special, the ones that I've seen prototypes of on the internet but never actually got released. I am going to be I've got sitting right here next to me. I
have that shirt.
Yes, I know.
I actually do have that Star Wars shirt.
That is a classic original Star Wars shirt. So I edited it onto your emoji. I have right here the Star Wars Wookiee storybook. This was published basically to be a companion to the holiday special. Does it have 1979, copyright 1979. And wow. This actually tells the story that George Lucas originally used as a treatment that got very, very altered when they actually got around to putting it on screen. But the original story had Lumpy going down, because the Wookiee living area is on the treetops in Kashyyyk, but down at ground level, it's very, very dangerous with a lot of nasty animals. But that's also where the berries grow that go into the pudding that is the traditional dessert for Life Day. And Lumpy ends up trying to find these wasaka berries and gets lost. And when Chewbacca gets home, he has to go and try and find him and rescue him. And it's a cute little story, and I think it would have made a much better story in the holiday special. But So I'm going to make Wasaka berry pudding for Life
Ooh.
Day. So I unfortunately won't be able to share it with all of you, but Nanette will have some.
Oh, that was awesome. Oh, and look at my avatar changed. Isn't that amazing?
Getting ready for Monday?
Just a reminder, Professor Geek's Monday night book study of The Hobbit is still planned. It's still going to be a thing. It is what he is. It's the one planned stream he'll be doing. So remember, it's on the Catholic Bible Geek channel. If you've been reading The Hobbit, keep reading. I just finished the 2 chapters the other day, so I'm ready for it.
The professor is still putting out content, though, so
yeah, he'll be putting out. He put out a new one today. He put out an archetype video today.
Make sure you hit that bell for notification on him because he's still.
And he also put out a video about the Mandalorian. His thoughts without watching it on the Mandalorian. So.
I appreciate that he is consistent.
Yes, he is consistent, but I see some crack in that armor. A little bit of a crack in the armor because if all the episodes are fine and they don't pull any weird thing, he might actually consider watching it.
Well, let's face it. I mean,
which will be jaded as all of us. Awesome.
I think as jaded as all of us are, we all still have a little tiny bit of hope that they'll turn this around and that, Star Wars can still be there for us. Maybe this is just a horrible, nightmarish phase that Star Wars is going through. That's what we're all hoping,
Well, somewhere. I personally am not as deep down in the dungeon as everybody else is. I see I can still see light.
I know. You put enough chocolate sauce on that turd and you'll eat it. I know.
What? What is it with eating like feces between you and the professor?
I'm just keeping it alive. He brought it up. I'll stick with it.
Wow. And the only thing that's not alive is the horse. It's been whipped to death.
Yeah, because Rose Tico released them all into the wild so they could all starve to death. Brilliant.
I'm sure there's stuff out there they can eat. I just love it. I love it. God, it's fun. But yeah, Mandalorian, if you're not watching it, and if you can find it, if you don't want to pay for Disney, I don't blame people for not buying Disney right now. I think they, Scott, there's so many streaming services out there.
Well, did you see somebody did a meme where it listed all the streaming services, including Disney Plus on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side is Obi-Wan saying, "You were supposed to end cable, not join them."
Yeah, it's becoming pretty intense. I would think if because Disney, I don't know if Disney and Hulu have something going on because they have a deal that if you buy Disney, ESPN, and Hulu, I think are like there's a threesome you can get for a certain amount.
Hey, if you get a threesome,
it's like $12.99 for the 3 channels. Personally, I don't need the ESPN channel. I could care less. But for that and Hulu, I mean, it's out there. People will pay or not pay. That's up to them. There are other ways of getting the content. I'm sure it's out there through nefarious sources.
Yeah,
more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
But see, I don't know if because I know that Professor Geek doesn't do it that way, but I don't even want to bother with the bandwidth. It's just not not worth it to me. Although I think I'm probably in the same boat. If I hear great things all the way through and we get to the last episode and they're like, "Yeah, this was great. Yay." Yeah, maybe I will check it out then.
Okay, check it. See it as a whole, and therefore, if you have a couple of good things, you get that one bad thing at the end that would ruin it for you. And if you hear about it before you watch anything, then you won't have to watch it and you won't be upset.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right.
Go.
I can look at it and go, okay, because that's just the problem. You see these things and they turn out to be terrible, and you go, okay, well, that's however many hours of my life I can't get back. Whereas if you hear about it in advance, you go, oh, I dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. Oh, unless they're bringing up Aquaman, at least he has Aquaman. Yeah, I said it. Well, Aquaman.
Well, I mean, right now, DC, all they really have going for them is Aquaman and Joker, I guess.
Wonder Woman. They say Wonder Woman.
Well, apparently, the second movie.
I heard that the second movie had a screening.
They're finding a way to kill that one too. So
that did not go well.
It's like, congratulations, you had something going. Can't let that stand.
Yeah, Casey Scott says Disney owns Hulu now. All that can't be good. Just combine it into one thing instead of having two separate services. Just create Disney Universe.
Actually, no, because Disney needs to be able to maintain some kind of cover so that they can continue to do R-rated films.
Yeah, true. I guess so.
They don't want to do it on Disney Plus, but if they own something else, then we can still get our, like R-rated Deadpool and stuff like that.
Yeah. Casey's on Joker cracked $1 billion. Well, good for it.
Yes, it did. And they're talking about a sequel.
Sometimes a movie doesn't need a sequel just because it makes a lot of money.
Unfortunately, that's the way Hollywood works.
Yeah, I know. God, but it'll be bad. They always make it worse.
Yes, it will. That's the kind of movie that does not want to have a sequel, but at least the fact is, Joaquin Phoenix strikes me as the type who he has been offered multiple roles in Marvel, and he's passed them up because he refuses to sign on to multi-film deals. He says each time he needs to see a script and decide if it's a good one for him. So I know he won't do a sequel if he doesn't feel like it's right.
That's an intelligent and well thought out career move. Because I respect Joaquin Phoenix. I've liked a lot of the work he's done.
Yeah,
I think he's great as Johnny Cash and Walk the Line. Great movie.
That was a great movie.
Reese Witherspoon was just epic as June Carter Cash, or June Carter, who would eventually become June Carter Cash, because she didn't in the film. But
yep.
God, so many movies that we could possibly. What Professor Geek comes in. Professor comes in and just simply says, "Wow."
Yeah, I have no idea, no context what he might be saying.
No context. Doesn't give us anything. Just wants us to know he's there. He's still listening.
Hey, Professor, we noticed you.
Do you feel good now? We're only here because you're not. But I will say, had a lot of fun watching Terminator.
Yeah,
great film, eminently rewatchable. I love it. I love a good film that you can just watch over and over again. Always find something kind of new and cool about it.
Yeah,
different concepts. And looking for, like I said, next week, looking forward to the Star Wars Holiday Special. And then after that, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out something next. We'll start getting some ideas and chewing them over. We are heading into the Christmas season. Have to get at least some version of a Christmas Carol in there.
Well, last year we watched Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Yeah. And I love the musical Scrooge with Albert Finney. That's one of my favorites.
But
and of course the Alistair Sim one, which is the definitive Scrooge in my book. He's perfect.
That's fair, but let me throw out this one.
I know what you're going to throw out.
Which one?
See if I'm right.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The Muppets.
Gotcha. I knew it. I knew it was going to be the Muppets. The Muppets. That'd be
Right?
that'd be a fun one to
Right?
do. That'd be a fun one to do. Yeah, well, they Die Hard. They say Die Hard.
I mean,
Melissa Harris
I'm not
wants
opposed
me to read her comment. I don't know what comment she's talking about. I just have to go back and find the comments. Is always hard. I don't see her comment actually. Gotta repost it, please.
Did Ted Turner used to own ESPN? Probably. He owned everything at some point.
Yeah, then he just had to start. Bad Santa. I don't know. I never saw Bad Santa. Die Hard is a great movie that takes place at Christmas. I love being the antagonist on that one. I don't know. I don't see her comment anywhere.
You know what we could do?
Oh, Tom King Run is a dark time for Batman. Yeah, of course.
We could. There hasn't been a rewatch of It's a Wonderful Life, has there been?
I don't know, but
I would
be a good one to do. Be a long haul, but it's a good one to do.
I think that would be a really nice one to do. I mean, if the interest is there, because it's another one of those movies that I always watch at the holidays. So I'd be interested in doing that.
What we could do is come up with like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4 titles. Maybe do a poll. For a couple of the we figure we get 2 or 3. Might be, you know what? Who knows? Might be able to do them all.
Yeah.
But I think that might be a little heavy to do so many.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe like 2, like I said, like a good Christmas Carol, and then maybe something like It's a Wonderful Life. Miracle on 34th Street. Oh God, that'd be great too. So many good ones.
Mara Jade makes an excellent point. If we're going to do a longer one like that, the fact that we're starting earlier kind of works.
Mara Jade is reminding me that You've Got Mail takes place around the holidays. That is the film she wants me to watch so bad.
Yep.
Chris Damon's saying Krampus.
Muhammad.
That could be a fun film to do. And Krampus.
I have never seen To Live and Die in L.A. I don't know anything about that movie.
No, me either. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I'll just accept it. No, I will not accept it. It's a movie that takes place at Christmas. It is not a Christmas movie.
Wonderful Life is my dad's favorite.
Just like It's a Wonderful Life, when you really think about it, It's a Wonderful Life is not a Christmas movie.
It's kind of not. I mean, it you could look at it as Christmas, New Year.
I don't think they even released it at Christmas. I forget this one. I know Miracle on 34th Street when it came out. They did not really think it was going to be that much of anything, so they just kind of threw it out in the middle of the summer, and it was a huge hit. And got Edmund Gwynn the Academy Award for supporting actor for playing Santa. The definitive Santa in my book. He is Santa. Yeah, well, but we'll get it. But Edward Plungerhands, Edward Scissorhands, of course. Yeah, that one we could do. We could do that one at any time. I think during the winter. Get a little stuff going, but I think it's about time to start calling it quits. Muhammad has put in a link.
Yeah, I looked, but it's saying video unavailable. This video contains content from MGM, who has blocked it in your country on copyright grounds.
Well, see, yeah, Canada, I guess, is different.
Yeah.
Darn you Canadians. Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
No, blame the US. Canada would let you watch it.
No, I'm just singing the song from South Park.
Oh, I see. I see.
Do you watch South Park?
I have never seen an episode. No.
You never seen an episode? The Canadians all have these like round heads with the top of it come off, and they have these like just black eyes. They're just and a big round head. It's really funny. I mean, it's like all the cars have square wheels.
Oh, okay.
It's just bizarre. But I just like the how they do the Canadians. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. We had a great time. I always do very long goodbyes because it's so hard to say goodbye to all my Al pals and all
well,
what are we going to call? What can we call your fans on your channel? I figured Troy Boys, but that doesn't exactly.
Yeah, that seems awfully. Yeah, that would seem awfully exclusive.
It seems awfully creepy too.
I mean, we do need a sign off, don't we? And we can't like steal someone else's because I'd be inclined to start singing "I'm so glad we had this time together," but that's not that's somebody else's.
Say, make sure to throw those empty popcorn buckets in the trash. Take care, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a little cinematic thing. We'll work on it. Like I said, it's new. We can be working on it.
And we'll see you at the movies.
Yeah, but that's Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, it is. But something like that.
I don't want to steal it. We'll noodle something. We'll noodle it out. I like saying that. Pachellons. Pachellons, like Klingons.
Yeah, Nanette has an excellent idea. Why don't you guys make some suggestions? What would be a good sign?
I like Mara Jade's Pacelli's Peeps.
Pacelli's Peeps. I like that.
I like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Al Pals, Pacelli Peeps.
But you just like it because it's alliterative.
I love alliteration. I love rhyme and alliteration. I love whimsy of all kinds. It's just the way I roll. Makes Captain Nerd stream.
Chellions like Klingons. Yep.
Holiday special rewatch supposed to be right.
Pacelli's pals is too much like Al Pals. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, no man, the holiday special rewatch was not supposed to be tonight. Originally, it was going to be Ghost in the Shell with Ishii on Professor Geek's channel, but since Professor Geek kind of decided to take a break, and he talked to Ishii, and he basically told me, "Don't worry about Ishii. Ishii wouldn't want to do it without the professor anyway." So we just came up with something else,
which is a nice way of saying he didn't want to do it with us, is what it is really saying.
Well, no, I don't think that. I think Ishii, I'm pretty sure Ishii's pretty cool, but I just think it was more of a them two kind of a thing, or I would have been the third.
I dig that. Yeah,
which is fine. And Ghost of Shell, maybe one day, who knows? But so much more to watch until then.
I'll tell you, I don't think I'd want to do something like an anime kind of thing unless the professor and or Ishii were involved, because I really don't know anything about any anime, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Sometimes I've watched films that I never have seen before. You just kind of comment on what you see. Even if it's shoes.
Yeah. I mean,
like I said, first time I ever watched Halloween, I watched it on the rewatch. That was the first time I saw it.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
You've never seen it before?
Wow. Or had I seen it like a week prior? I had only seen it. Yeah, it wasn't until last Halloween that I finally saw Halloween. It had I just always missed it. Just never watched it. I don't like watching horror on regular television where they cut it up.
Yeah.
Because it gets rid of a lot of the cool stuff.
Although I will say that sometimes the editing for television can be kind of good. I love the bit from the network version of the Blues Brothers where the line is I wasn't lying to you. I was just bullshitting you. Well, in the network version, it's I wasn't lying to you. I was just bamboozling you. I actually think that works better.
I always saw. I remember when Smokey and the Bandit was first on television, and of course, if anybody who's watched the original version knows the sheriff is he's like some bitch the entire time, but they couldn't do that. So in the on TV it was scumbum, you scumbum, and it just sounded really strange. Because I think they got someone else to dub it, so it didn't even sound like the guy.
If it doesn't sound like him, it doesn't work at all. That's right.
Yeah, and then they had the line when the truck knocks his door off, and he goes, "I'm gonna barbecue your ass in molasses." It was, "I'm gonna barbecue your head in molasses."
Have you ever watched? Well, if you didn't watch it on DVD, you might not have seen it. There is a DVD extra on the Shaun of the Dead DVD called Funky Pete, and there's the bit where the bit where there's a whole string of F words as he's where Pete is yelling at him, and as he walks away, what's his name calls him a prick, and they did a PG-13 version of it where they take out all the swearing, and instead of saying the F word, he's saying funk. And instead of prick, he says prink. And I swear it sounds so hysterical. It's just off the wall hysterical. But anyway, sometimes they clean it up and it's actually better. I don't know.
Yeah, Exact Change only wants to be on if we ever do an anime. I'll think about that. Could be a possibility.
Agent Boomer, which version of Brewster's Millions? And actually, I've seen both.
What's the other one? Oh, you talking about the early one, or the?
Oh yeah,
I know the Richard Pryor one.
Richard Pryor's is a remake.
Yeah, I've seen the Richard Pryor one. I don't think I've seen the other one, the original. Was it called Brewster's Millions?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Huh.
I thought it was.
Yeah, I remember seeing Brewster's Millions. I remember seeing it in the movie theater over here. In our little town when we still had one, the little single screener. That was a good movie.
Maybe I'm mistaken. I thought it was a.
It might be. I just am not.
I'm so certain that. Oh well, I know that there was a previous. It must have just been under a different name.
Yeah, I like. That was a good movie. You know what? Another good movie is with Richard Pryor, The Toy.
Yeah, and that's another. But that's another one that doesn't hold up really.
Yeah, well. Yeah, but it's still kind of fun. It's a fun.
Oh, absolutely. It's a fun film. It absolutely is.
But it definitely is a product of its time.
It very much is. It would be called problematic these days.
Oh, definitely problematic these days. The whole, we got we can't, talk about slavery or racial relations.
Yeah.
And several other things. And oh god.
Yeah. There was a lot in that movie, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, let's sign this puppy off. Let's put our signature to it.
We'll come up with a good phrase for closing. We'll come up with a good
closing phrase. I'm sure something, or like I said, sometimes just freewheeling it could be a good one too. But I want to thank you, Troy, for doing this with me.
Thank you again for having me.
Thank you, sir. I want to thank everybody who joined us tonight and had a good time watching the Terminator and listening to us two kooky guys just kind of chat about whatever. Join us again on Tuesday night at 11 for the show previously known as Office Hours. Something else we'll need to come up with a title for. but we'll just have a little hangout and talk about the latest in TV, movie, comic, general geeky news, and have a lot of fun. Like I said, Professor Geek will be back on the Catholic Bible Geek channel Monday night at 11 p.m. So make sure you read chapter 4 and 5 if you haven't already. And I'll see you on that. And I want everyone to have a wonderful night. Take care. Goodbye. And let me try. And make sure you throw your popcorn buckets in the trash. Okay, I don't like that. It's too weird. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, friends. Bye-bye.
Bye.